I've already seen all of you this morning, so we don't need to say hi again. All right, I just wanted to go over this assignment from Friday. Most of you guys did pretty good. I think I only had 2 people get 100% though, maybe 3. So we're just going to go through it really quickly together. And just so if we have any questions, we can ask. Somewhere, I have my answer key. Anyway, so the first part you had to do, it said fill in the chart below using the shapes, images above. Be sure to label your graph with a title. I also said tallies are hard to make on a computer, so you were able to just type the number. The example was 7. I did not say just type 7s, okay? I had someone do that. It was not the directions. So anyways, titles, I could be like, how many shapes? I think everyone put a title except for one person. If you were the person that forgot a title, make sure to do titles. Then the shapes were circle. There was a triangle, heart, and diamond. I did not care what order you put them in. It didn't matter. You just needed to have those 4 shapes. Circle, you had to count up the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You should have had the number 16 per circles. If you didn't have that, that means you counted wrong somewhere, and that's okay. That's why we're going over it. And then triangles, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 triangles. Hearts, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hearts. And lastly, this was the one people got the most wrong. For some reason, diamonds was counted the most incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There were 9 diamonds. For some reason, people counted that one wrong the most. And then you had to answer some questions. Most was obviously circle. Least was heart. And your total was off if you had any of these numbers off. So the total was 41. Okay? That was it, in case you were wondering, okay? So then you had part 2. Some of us did super, super good on this, and some of us did not do so good on this. We had the mean, median, mode, and range of the following. So I'm going to try to do most of this on the computer. That way you guys can see it. I'm going to put it in least to greatest order first. There was a 5. There was 10, 15. There was another 15. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20s. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay, 5 20s. Those have been used. I'm just putting in least to greatest order up here. That way it's easier for us to see. What did I not put down yet? There was also 2 30s. 30. 30. And then there was a 40 and a 45. And I think that is it. I think we got all those numbers. So that would have been Mrs. Kneifel's first step when she was doing this. I would have put them in least to greatest order. So you should have had 5, 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 45. So I like to do my easiest one first, which is the mode. The mode is the most used number. Most used was 20. Okay? Most used was 20. Some of you guys also said 15 and 30. 15 and 30 were only used twice. 20 was used 5 times. So the mode was definitely 20. Now the range was highest number minus lowest, which was 45 minus 5, which equals 40. So your range should have been 40. Okay? Range should have been 40. And now middle number, which is median, Mrs. Kneifel always just counts 1 in, 1 out, 1 in, 1 out until I get to the very center. So cross off 1 here, cross off 1 there, cross off 1 here, cross off 1 there. Pretend I'm crossing them off. Cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off. There's an odd number, which means you didn't have to do any crazy math. The median was 20. The dead center number was 20. Right here, there was 6 on each side. 20, okay? And now the last one, I'm going to unshare in 1 second. That way you guys can see me work through this problem because lots of you got it wrong, okay? So let me stop sharing so you can see my board. The last thing we had to do was the mean, which is when we add them all up and divide them. Very few of you guys actually got this one right. Some of you guys are really close, but I wanted to show you how I did it. So I'm going to write all my numbers down, and then I'm going to show you how I did it because I also did this problem. I have it on my piece of paper somewhere. 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, and 45. Okay. So first step, you have to add them all together. Well, 5 20s is 100. So I'm going to cross out those. I already have 100, okay? 2 15s is 30 plus another 10 is 40. So now I have a 40. 30 plus 30 is 60. So now I have 60. And then 45 plus 45 is 90. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 9 is 19. 9, carry my 1. I get 290, okay? So when I add it all up, it was 290. And now I need to divide by, how many numbers were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There was 13. So we need to divide by 13. Obviously, 13 can't go into 2, but it can go into 29. It can go into 29 twice, which is 26. 29 minus 26 is 3. Bring down my 0. 13 can go into 30 twice, which is also 26, which means we have 4 left. And Mrs. Jones said you should be making fractions, not decimals. So your answer should have been 22 and 4/13. Lots of you did not. I don't know what you guys are doing, but lots of you did not get that. Very few of you did. If you did get that, good job. If you put 22, just 22, I think I gave you the point. But the actual answer was 22 and 4/13 because you had 4 left over and we were dividing by 13, okay? But if you put it went in 22 times, I gave you that, okay? But some of you guys had some crazy answers. The actual answer was 22 and 4/13. Does anyone have any question over this assignment? Lots of you guys did pretty good for the most part. There was, like I said, I think there was only 2 100%, but everyone else, you only missed like 1 or 2. You did a pretty good job. Any questions over this homework? Anyone? Questions? I think everyone turned it in, hopefully, because otherwise I just gave you all the answers. Let me double check. Then we will move on. Did everyone turn it in? Yeah, everyone turned it in. So way to get it done. Good job, all you people. You guys got it done on time. And I don't know, how do you feel about, tell me what you think on the, Paisley, I don't even think I assigned it to you because I knew you weren't going to be here and I knew we were going to go over it today. So I didn't even assign it to you. So there you go. You just heard about it. Tell me, besides Paisley, because you didn't do it, how you felt. Did you, doing this Math RTI assignment, did you like being able to do it on your own and me giving you feedback, like on the Google Doc? Like, did you like that? Did you not like that? I didn't know how we felt. I don't normally give you guys assignments like that. So I didn't anyone want to give me feedback on if you liked doing it or if you didn't like doing it? Sometimes I think like yes, it was fine. Okay, good. Sometimes I think it gets a little bit boring. And I shouldn't say boring, but every single day we kind of just do practice. I kind of like giving you guys a little bit of time to practice on your own. That way I know exactly who's struggling with what and stuff. So it looks like most of you guys didn't mind it too much. So we might do something like that again on Fridays. Maybe we can do something like that. Haven't decided, but today in math, you guys were working more with graphs, coordinating things on a coordinate plane. So you didn't like that time? Okay. I want to talk about graphs because, graphs are good for you. Ms. Kneifel doesn't mind a graph. So here's my graph, right here. This beautiful, beautiful graph. Someone, I need you to raise your hand if you want to answer. when I'm making a graph, do I always have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Raise your hand if you want to answer. Well, we're working on it more, Mia. Cadence, do I always have to just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc.? Do I have to do it like that? Okay, I wanted you to unmute yourself, Cadence. But she typed it in the chat. Anyways, no, we do not always have to just count by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do not have to do that. What do we have to do when we are deciding our numbers? There's something really important we have to do when we're deciding our numbers. Does anyone know? Could anyone explain it to me? What is the important thing we have to do when we're making our numbers, when we're deciding our numbers? Okay, well, fine, Cadence, then don't raise your hand. If you don't want to talk in the meeting, don't raise your hand. Isabella, do you know what the important thing we have to do when we are making our numbers? I'm sure Mrs. Jones has talked about it. Positive. Like if I put 0 would be here, then I put 5, then I put 10, then I put 15, and then I put 40. I just made a mistake. What mistake did I just make? There's something important when we are making our graphs. Yes. I put 5, 10, 15, 40. I just made a mistake. Michaela, do you know what my mistake is? Michaela, you raised your hand. Okay, she's not talking. Jameson. No, Jameson, it's not 45.
You forgot to put the graph in?
No, that is, I could draw that in. That's unimportant. All I'm working with is the numbers on the side. So the numbers on the side have to be equal distance apart. So I had 5, 10, 15. Next would be 20. I put, these are 5 apart. These are 5 apart. This is 25 apart. I cannot go from 5, 5, 5, 5 to 25, okay? If you're going to count by 5s, you have to count by 5s. Okay, so if I wanted to get up to 40, I would have put 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, okay? I cannot, you have to have equal distance in your numbers. So you cannot count 1, 7, 42, 86 on our graph. That doesn't make sense because those numbers are crazy numbers apart. They have to be equal distance apart. So if Mrs. Kneifel wanted to count by 10s on this side and 2s by this side, is anyone brave enough to tell me what my numbers are going to be down here? Out loud, not in the chat. I want to count by 2s on the bottom. Haley, can you tell me what my numbers on the bottom are going to be? I'm counting by 2.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yep, and if we continue to be 14, 15, 18, I'm almost in the space. Thank you, Haley. We counted by 10s. So these are all equal distance apart. There's 2 between each of them. If she said 2, then 6, that would be counting by 4. She could not go 2 to 18, then 18 to 47. They have to be the equal distance apart. Now, what if on this side I want to count by 10s? Is it okay to count by 2s and count by 10s? In case you don't know, it is okay. It is totally fine because this is one separate set of numbers and this is another separate set of numbers. Okay, so I don't have to count by 2s and count by 2s. I could count by 2s over here and count by 10s over here, and that is totally fine. So which one of you brave persons can count by 10s for this one? Landon Rebus, can you, or if your microphone's going to work, that is, count by 10s for me.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,
So if Mrs. Kneifel decided that this should be 20, then 33, would that be okay? No, I cannot just throw a 33 in here if I'm counting by tens. Okay, so everything has to be equal distance apart. So I'm just going to say some numbers and I'm going to graph them while you watch me, okay? So if I gave myself the number, remember we go over then up. If I gave myself 2, 10, I would go up to 2, or I go over to 2, up to 10. If I had 4, 20, I would go over to 4, up to 20. If I had 6, 30, I would go over 6, up to 30. Now, what if I had 8, 35? Can anyone tell me what I would do if I had 8, 35? Now, I know not every single one of my lines is drawn in because then it would just get more confusing. Does anyone know what it would be if I had 8, 35? What I would do here? Blake, do you know 8, 35? What would I do? I can't hear you, Blake. Your volume up. You might have to unplug your headphones.
She's talking, but I
Cannot hear
can't.
them. All right, Blake, did you try to unplug your headphones? Because I cannot hear you. All right, your volume must be off. Okay, sorry, Blake, it's not working. Good try, though. Someone else besides Blake, would you like to answer? Where would 835 be graphed? We were doing really good because, oh, we have a 10, we have a 20, we have a 30, but now we have 35. And 35 is not on our graph. So how do I know where to put 35? How do I know where to put 35? Isabella H. How do I know where to put 35?
In the middle of 30 and 40.
Yeah, you just used your best guess. We know 35 goes in between 30 and 40. So we would go over 8, and then we would eyeball between 30 and 40. That's all you have to do. Nothing, it's not crazy rocket science. It's just in between, okay? So let me get the better eraser because Mrs. Kneifel's eraser is not the bomb, and it's making me mad. Okay, I got myself a new eraser. Yeah, so let me go up close on that one, Mia, okay? So here's my graph, all right? And here's 30, and here's 40, okay? And pretend like it's 235, okay? My thing is 235. So I go over to 2, but I have a 30 and I have a 40. Well, I can't go all the way to 40 because it's not 40, and I can't go only to 30 because it's not 30. So I would go over to 2, and I would go in the middle of 40 and 30. So it wouldn't be on a perfect line going sideways. It would be in between the lines, okay? And that's totally fine. Sometimes that's going to happen. If it's 31, it would just be a teeny bit above 30. Say if it was 39, it would be a little bit below 40, okay? So that's going to happen sometimes when the line isn't perfect 30, 40, or, you know, whatever the graph is. That's okay, okay? You just eyeball it and put it where you think it needs to go. Same if it was down here. If it needed to go on 3, well, we have 2, 4. So you would eyeball it and you would put it on what you think would be 3, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So now, Angelina, are you participating in Math RTI or what? It looks like you're just chilling right now. Now, when we make graphs, okay, good. I'm glad, Mia. Yeah, feel free to ask me questions. So if it's not all the way, you can eyeball it. But that's another thing. So if Mrs. Kneifel, I'm going to write some ordered pairs, and then we're going to together decide what would be best for the graph, okay? So my ordered pairs are going to be 5, 10, 10, 20, 15, 20, 30. And then what if I had 15, 35? Okay, so I have 4 ordered pairs. Hi, lovely. I have 4 ordered pairs. My ordered pairs are 5, 10, 10, 20, 15, 30, 15, 35. So we need to decide what our numbers on the side are going to be. Let's do our x-axis first. Remember, x-axis goes this way. So we have 5, 10, 15, 15. So should we count by ones? Should we count by 2? Should we count by 5? Should we count by 10s? Anyone want to give me, what do you think we should count by on our x-axis? We can do ones. We could do, I personally wouldn't do 2s because 3 of them are odd numbers, not even. Should we count by 5? Should we count by 10? Someone tell me in the chat, what do you think we should count by? In my chat, type it. Rochelle said 5, Isabella said 10, Haley said 5. Evan, why would we count by 25 when none of them even got to 25? I'm going to disagree with 25. We could do 10s or we could do 5s. I personally would do 5s because if we did 10, we'd have like 10, 20, and then we'd like the 5 would be before and it wouldn't be right on a line. If we counted by 5s, every single one of these x-axis would be right on a line. So I would count by 5, 10, and then we would have 15, and then we could even go farther to 20. Okay, so all of our x-axes, 5, 10, 15, 20, are perfect right on the line. Okay, so now we have to decide our y-axis, and our y numbers are 10, 20, 30, 35. So what should we count with there? We can do 10s, we could do 5s, we could do 20s, we could do 1s. What do we think we should count by there? Haley said 10s. Mia saying 10s. Anyone else want to vote? What should we count by? Okay, Landon's also saying 10s. Cadence is saying 10s. All right, so let's count by 10s. So here I have 10, 20, 30, 40. Perfect. Now we're going to graph these together, okay? So my first ordered pair is 5, 10. So I need someone that's volume actually works. Tell me, how can I graph 5, 10? My first ordered pair is 5, 10. Landon, your volume works. Tell me, how do I graph 5, 10?
Just a 16. Okay, you should have them in that order.
Landon.
Okay. So I'm going to combine
We
some
go
of these
over
with
5, up
so
10. So that is going to be my point A, okay? Over 5, up 10. All right. Now, my next one, ordered pair B, is 10, 20. Who else's volume works? Gage, tell me, where's 10, 20 going to go? Tell me how to get to 10, 20.
Over 10, up to 20.
Over 5, 10, up 10, 20. Perfect. That is B. Haley, can you tell me how to get to C? C is 15, 30. C is 15, 30.
You're gonna go in the middle between 10 or between 5 and 10. Or wait, sorry. You're gonna go in the middle between
15 and 30. We don't need to go middle anywhere. We're doing 15 and 30.
Okay. So you're
We
gonna
have
go
5, 10, 15, 20, and we have 10, 20, 30, 40.
you're gonna go up, or you're gonna go across to 15 and then up to 30.
40.
Perfect. This one's going to land right on a line. Over 15, up 30, C. And then lastly, D is our tricky one. Who's brave enough to do D? Because D is 15, 35. And we don't have a 35 on this side because we counted by 10s. We didn't count by 5. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40. So who can be a brave soul and tell me where 1535 goes? Mia, you want to tell me?
You're gonna go over 15 and then
Yep.
you're gonna put the other dot in between 30 and 40.
Okay.
Perfect. It's just going to go right in the middle. And that's okay that it's not on a perfect like square. That's perfect. Good job. Go brave people. So the main part when making a graph, when you're deciding what to count by, I don't care what you count by, you just have to, okay, point, not a dot. Same thing, Paisley. You just have to remember it has to be even. So if you want to count by tens, cool, count by tens. If you want to count by fives, count by fives. If you want to count by threes, you can count by threes, but it has to be even. You can't count by fives, then count by twos, okay? Remember, you have to space them apart evenly. That's the most important thing that when people are making graphs, they get wrong often, okay? But so far, you guys are doing good, okay? Go you. So let's say I'm going to give you some more ordered pairs, and we're going to decide what to count by again, okay? Okay, so my ordered pairs are not in order from least to greatest. I just have some ordered pairs. I have 2, 8, 10, 8, 6, 8, 10, 10, 4, 6. If I was making a graph, what might I count by on my x-axis and my y-axis? What might I count by? Anyone want to give me a suggestion? Isabella H., what might I count by on my x-axis? My x is this way.
Tens or fives?
Let me read the numbers again. 2, 8, 10, 8, 6, 8, 10, 10, 4, 6. I definitely don't want to count by tens because there's only tens and there's nothing higher. I wouldn't want to do 10, 20 because after 10, there'd be nothing. Rochelle and Mia both said 2. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with Rochelle, Mia, and Haley. I definitely think we could count by twos. We could do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And that would cover 2, 10, 6, 10, 4. Perfect. All my x-axes can be perfect on a line. How about my y-axis? What should I count by on my y-axis? Should I do 1? Should I do 2? Should I do 5? Should I do tens? What should we count by for the y-axis? Tell me in my chat. What should I count by for my y-axis? Nia said 5. Jacqueline said 5. Remember, our y-axis is 8, 8, 8, 10, 6. I know you guys are leaning towards fives, but I'm saying twos again. I think twos are winning in our chat. So it would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If we counted by twos on both sides, x and y, we would be able to graph every single one of these on a point, all right? So like I said, you just have to decide which one works best. And when you're making your own graph, sometimes your graph may not look the exact same as everyone else's because maybe you decided to count by twos and someone else decided to count by fours, and that's okay as long as we have the correct numbers, okay? So we are going to stop here for today. I know we're ending a few minutes early, but that's okay. Take a minute to refresh your brain. Maybe make yourself some ordered pairs and think about where you would graph those. Thank you for joining. Good job, friends. Good job. Way to work hard today. Angelina, can you please leave the call?